as well wrapping up. I feel like there's a lot more we got to cover with the free agency.
Yeah, let's move along.
But we got to move along. So we got the Knicks. The Knicks definitely made some signings. You got Kemba Walker. You got Evan Fournier. They re-signed Nerlens Noel. Julius. I mean, we'll see what they do with Julius Randle. Julius Randle's coming back, right? I mean,
Yes, he got signed.
so the extension like officially got signed and everything. Okay, I didn't
Yes.
know if it was like a Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard situation where like they opt out and then we'll see how that happens. I didn't know if that finished up. All right,
No, Julius
so
Randle's good. He's
so
locked in.
so as far as my thing is, I think the Knicks more. I think more of a roster standpoint. I don't think. I mean, I don't know if this puts the Knicks might be a 8 seed or a 7 seed at best. Sorry, I think it's a flash in the pan. What happened last year? I mean, they can develop on this maybe with RJ and develop on Quigley and RJ and some of these younger guys. But I think more so, it's nice that the Knicks are getting these signings just because it's becoming a free agent destination again.
Right.
When you think about, I mean, Stephen A. Smith having those pipe dreams of all these stars coming and then just always being disappointed. The fact that it must have hurt the New York fans that their stepbrother in the Nets got, KD and Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan at the time was supposed to be pegged the big three. And then later, this is what the team Harden wanted to go to was the Nets, not the Knicks. When you're going to New York, you want to go to the Knicks, you want to go to Madison Square Garden, and I think the reputation of that organization was being, just it was kind of soiled. Dolan didn't help any cases, but they're leveraging. I think they're leveraging this year to give something back to the fans, and the fact that they actually got semi-quality free agent signings, and I think the Kemba Walker is a good signing because it's at a fairly low price, right? It's like 10
Yes.
million, a little less than 10
Full
million.
price.
Like that's solid. That's definitely better than the contract that the Celtics were dealing with, right? That they have to trade a first round pick to get him out. That's better. Like when you get him at that deal, Evan Fournier might be a little rich, but I get it. Like if you're the Knicks, just get some talent and be happy with it. And just, you might not be a great team, but if you're at least being somewhat successful making the playoffs and maybe getting knocked out, like at least just restore something back other than being just an abysmal team. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's just solid marketing in that perspective, more so than I don't know how much this really improves roster building per se, but I mean, having Kemba and having Evan, I think is just amasses more pieces to where the Knicks are back to being a better free agent destination and possibly a trade destination for, let's say, someone like Damian Lillard. So that's what I gotta say about the Knicks. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say that Damian Lillard rumor, which has been floated around by Stephen A. many times, that if he wanted to leave Portland, the Knicks would be his first choice, may or may not be true. As we know, Stephen A. has very, very suspect sources based on his history. It's always been, based on my sources, but I'm not sure his sources are that great, to be honest. But I think, yeah, Tom Thibodeau has really changed the culture around. I think Worldwide Wes and all of them in the front office have done a great job as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big thing about the Knicks and a good win for them is that Julius Randle's contract is a 4-year, 117 million extension. And the reason I'm mentioning that as a huge win for them is because if Randle demanded the maximum amount of money he could be paid for that contract, the Knicks would be in a much more difficult situation with their cap long term. Now with a 4-year 117, it's like kind of a lower max kind of contract. So Randall's quote unquote happy, and you also have a lot more salary cap flexibility for those big free agents and those big fish that you want to do and pursue later down the road. So that's a win for Knicks there. I think the Kemba thing, as you mentioned, the only reason why I personally believe his contract was, a very team friendly one was because He's from the New York City area. He grew up from the Bronx. So, I think it's like kind of like coming home kind of thing. So he, just decided to take a team discount kind of thing. And Kemba, as good as he is, we saw some great seasons in Charlotte. I'm just so concerned about his knee. I think,
Yeah.
for him, it's just like if he can contribute in like short bursts, like 1 or 2 games, like, at a time. I mean, and I'm talking about that literally, like we're not actually going to, have him play for long stretches, because his knee will act up and, it just be a huge disaster in that way. But when he's on the court, when he's fully healthy, he's a great player. So good for Knicks.
Yeah, and I think the discount is what helps, right? It's not the
Absolutely.
crazy insane contract where you're constantly worried about the knee. I mean, you're still gonna be worried about the knee, of course, but it's you get a little bit of leeway that it's you're not paying too much for this guy. And
Correct.
of course, the homecoming thing, like I'm saying, it just goes back to branding that it's the Knicks, like it's the Knicks. Damn it, we're the team in New York. Like we're kind of back in a way. Uh, I mean, this might be like big signings, but I think just these signings. I mean,
Small steps.
it's
Yep.
step in the right direction. I appreciate it. NBA is better when the Knicks are better, just because as much as New York fans might be nauseating, it helps when the star teams are doing well in any league. As much as we hate the Cowboys, the league gets let's say the NFL, like the league gets more popular with the Cowboys are doing well. Uh, so on and so on. I can do with all these franchises. I think it's that's just how it is with sports leagues. And so yeah, I'm glad that the Knicks might be going in the right direction culturally. Uh, so that's I think at least what I gotta say for that. We can move on. So we gotta move on relatively